today we're working on solving one-step equations with integers, and we did a couple examples where we saw adding and used the inverse, which is subtraction. We did a few examples where we saw subtraction and used addition, the inverse, which is addition. Now we're going to see multiplication. We're going to have to use the inverse operation, which is, hopefully you're saying division to yourself. So negative 3 times f, the inverse of multiplying by negative 3 is dividing by negative 3. And if I do it to one side, then I have to do it to the other. And so negative 3 divided by negative 3 cancels out, and I get f equals. And negative 360 divided by negative 3 is positive 120. And negative divided by negative is a positive number. 3 goes into 36 12 times, and then I can just add that 0 at the end because of the 360, and I get f equals 120. If I wanted to go back and make sure that my answer makes sense, I can always go back and check by plugging that number in. Negative 3 times positive 120, and does that equal negative 360? A negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 12 is 36, and then add our 0. Our answer checks and makes sense. It seems reasonable. At this point in time, you may be thinking maybe you want to try this next example on your own. If you do, that's great. If not, and you'd rather follow along, that's okay too. On this example, you should see 5 times g equals negative 55. And you should recognize that to get the variable by itself, or to isolate the variable, we have to use inverse operations. The inverse of multiplying is dividing. And so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. 5 and 5 cancel out, and I get g equals. And then I've got a negative divided by a positive. A negative divided by a positive is a negative answer. And 55 divided by 5 is 11. So in this case, g equals negative 11. You can do the check on your paper or in your head. For this one, I'm just going to show you that I can do it in my head. 5 times negative 11, a negative times a positive is a negative answer, and 5 times 11 is 55. And so I know automatically that my answer checks and makes sense.